The power of architecture. The Mughals took keen interest in building grand historical monuments, magnificent forts, palaces, gate, mosque, buildings, etc. So we have already discussed that during the Mughal period they have taken their keen interest in order to build buildings which are of grand, right? And they were you can say of magnificent forts, okay, palaces, gate, mosque, buildings, etc. Gardens with fountain and running water were a special features of their architecture. So especially in the Mughal period, during during the architect or the while constructing a building or monuments, they gives an important uh, you can say important factor that they used to give important to gardens. That means wherever the monuments are being made, right? So they used to make a garden, and along with the garden there was a fountain through which running waters were built. So this was one of the special features of the Mughal architecture. Some of the famous Mughal complex gardens were the Nisha Bagh in Kashmir and the Pinch Jure Garden in the foothills of Punjab. The monuments reflected imperial powers and authority. So these are the examples, and these monuments place or gives us an idea that they have a huge power and the authority. As you can see in this picture, this is Buland Darwaza, which is at Fatehpur Sikri. Akbar's greatest agricultural achievement was truly represented by the new city of Fatehpur Sikri, that is city of victory, in which low arches and bulbous domes were exclusively used. So the Buland Darwaja was constructed by the Akbar, and he uh, and in this monument he had uses low arches, that means very small arches, okay, along with bulbous domes, that means only small domes were constructed. These were characteristics of the Mughal style. An impressive gateway known as Buland Darwaza was built at Fatehpur Sikri to commemorate Akbar's victory over Gujarat. So why he had built Buland Darwaza at Fatehpur Sikri? Because he had won a battle against the Gujarat. It also contained pavilion, sarais, palace, offices. So it also contains different types of rooms, different types of palaces and offices, and even the halls were also present in the Buland Darwaza. Of the palace and residential buildings, special mention must be made of Panch Mahal, Birbal's house, and Jodha Bhai's palaces. So in the Buland Darwaja there was you can see where the Buland Darwaja was constructed in the Fatehpur Sikri, there was also you can see special palaces and residential buildings were also made by the Akbar, which are Panch Mahal, Birbal's house, and the Jodha Bhai palace. The Diwani Khas and Daftar Khana were other important structures. So even the Diwani Khas and Daftar Khana were built by the famous emperor known as Akbar. Jahangir was more interested in painting, but he made a significant change from the use of sandstone to marble in building construction. So though Jahangir was not at all interested in making the buildings, and his main interested was in painting, but still he had made, or he played an important role, that before Jahangir all the emperors used to make the monuments with the help of sandstone, okay, but Jahangir was the first Mughal emperor who used marble in order to construct the building. He laid the foundation of the famous Salimar Garden in Kashmir. So he laid the foundation of the famous garden known as Salimar Garden, which is in Kashmir. Shahjahan and the zenith of Mughal architecture. Mughal architecture reached its peak under Shah Jahan. So the Mughal architecture reached at peak, that means at high, under the Shah Jahan reign. His reign saw the construction of majestic and grand monument. So his period so the you can see it reached to the highest point, and he had made a huge amount of grand monuments during his period. During his reign, different elements of Mughal architecture were fused together in a harmonious way. So during the Shah Jahan period, he has mixed all the Mughal architecture uh, and and build the buildings. The style of Mughal architecture that developed during his reign was a mixture of Indian, Central Asian, and Persian style. So, the style which he had built the monuments during his period was the mixture of Indian culture, Central Asian culture, and the Persian culture. There was extensive use of marble, the reference of bulbous domes, and elaborate floral ornamentation through the technique of pictura dura, in which the semi-precious stones were used for inlay work on stone. So he was the first you can say emperor who used the you can say they used the marble while constructing the monuments. Even he had used the bulbous domes, which was introduced by the Akbar, and even he had used the floral ornamentation, that means with the help of pitradura. Pitradura is a technique in which semi-precious stones are used in order to you can say in order to design a stone. That means in a piece of stone, semi-precious stones were used in order to design that stone, and that stone were you can say placed in the wall in order to decorate the wall. The Moti Masjid or Pearl Mosque, built during the reign of Shah Jahan, is located within the Agra fort. So the Shah Jahan had made the Moti Masjid or the Pearl Mosque, okay, within the Agra fort. Built entirely of marble, it contains of domes, kiosk, extensive marble work, and recessed archway. So the Moti Masjid built by the Shah Jahan, the whole masjid was made by the marble. He had used the dome structure, kiosk also, and also he had used marble. That means all the works were made up of marble, and even he had used the archways. That means archways. In this way, he had designed the Moti Masjid. The Jama or Jami Masjid in Delhi is the largest mosque in India. So the Jama or the Jami Masjid in India, it is the largest mosque in India. Built in 1650 CE by Shah Jahan, this mosque has a courtyard big enough to accommodate up to 25,000 people at a time. So in the Jama Masjid, the mosque have a big courtyard. That means a veranda type structure in which 25 people can be present at a time. The four minarets, constructed of red sandstone and white marble, are its chief features. So in the Jama Masjid, the four minarets, that means pillars, were made up of red sandstone and white marble. Shah Jahan's greatest architectural achievement was, however, the Taj Mahal. So one of the best architectural achievement of Shah Jahan was the Taj Mahal. It is the mausoleum of his favorite wife Mumtaz Mahal. That means he had constructed Taj Mahal in the memory of his favorite wife known as Mumtaz Mahal. These white marble monuments was built on a terrace by a river Yamuna. So the Taj Mahal was built beside the river Yamuna. Isha Khan was the chief architect of the Taj Mahal. So who was the main person behind to structure the Taj Mahal was the Isha Khan. Remember the name. The double dome and delicate marble screen, Pitradutta inlay work, and kiosk, along with the monuments being placed in the middle of a garden, add its beauty. So the Taj Mahal, it was designed with the double dome, okay, and all the things were made up of marble with the help of Pitradutta inlay work, and even the precious stones were also used, okay, and the whole monuments were placed in the middle. That means the whole monument was designed in such a way that in the middle there was a garden, okay, and due to its garden, it it glorifies the beauty of the Taj Mahal. Shah Jahan also laid the foundation of the new city of Shahjahanabad in Delhi. So he had also laid the foundation of a new city known as Shahjahanabad in Delhi. This city had administrative buildings. So in this city, different types of administrative buildings were present. Mosque, the Red Fort, house, wide roads, and a garrison were also present. Chandni Chowk was the most famous bazaar in the city. So Chandni Chowk, which is still present in Delhi, it was the famous bazaar in the city. The city was enclosed by 14 gates which were kept closed at night. So the city, that means the Shahjahanabad, was designed in such a way that it consists of 14 closed gates and they were closed at night. The Red Fort in Delhi is identified as a fort complex which served as the royal residence as well as the capital of Mughal. So the Red Fort in Delhi, it is regarded as the royal residence. That means the emperor's family used to stay there, and even it was the capital of the Mughal. It derives its name from the main building material, the red sandstone. So why it is known as Red Fort? Because it was made up of red sandstone. It took 10 years to complete the construction of the fort. So the Red Fort took 10 years to complete. The most beautiful buildings within the fort are the ceremonial halls of public and private audience known as the Diwan-e-Aam and Diwan-e-Khas respectively. So the most beautiful buildings within the Red Fort is the ceremonial hall of public, where different types of you can say discussions and debates were taking place, and for the private audience, and which are known as Diwan-e-Aam and Diwan-e-Khas respectively. And the Rang Mahal, the famous peacock throne studded with gold and precious stone, was also installed here. So the famous peacock throne, which was made by the Shah Jahan, it was also placed in the Red Fort. So as you can see in this picture, this is the Red Fort in Delhi, and entire Red Fort is made up of red sandstone. That's why it is known as Red Fort.